blame it on the paranoia, 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 running through my brain. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The scent of pancakes and coffee was YN's favorite way to wake up on a Saturday. It was the smell of home, of a life she hadn't dared to dream of just a few years ago. She stretched a contented smile on her face before padding out of the bedroom and into the heart of the house. There, John Jungkook, her husband of 1 year, stood at the stove, a spatula in one hand, his toned back to her. His focus was absolute, a small frown of concentration on his handsome face as he flipped a perfectly golden brown pancake. At the small circular table, 5-year-old Jungmin was diligently coloring, his tongue sticking out from the corner of his mouth.
Good morning, my loves.
YN said softly, her voice warm with sleep. Jungkook turned, his frown melting into a breathtaking smile that made her heart flutter every single time.
Morning, beautiful. Sleep well?
He leaned in and gave her a lingering taste of maple syrup and promise.
Mommy.
Jungmin chirped, abandoning his drawing to wrap his small arms around her legs.
Daddy is making smiley-faced pancakes.
Ruffling his dark, silky hair, a perfect replica of his father's.
Is he now? The best kind.
Life was this, simple, warm, and overflowing with a love so profound it sometimes felt fragile. Marrying a single dad had come with its own unique set of challenges, but Jungkook and his son had welcomed her into their small world with open arms. She wasn't just Jungkook's wife, she was Jungmin's mommy, a title she wore with more pride than any other. They sat down to eat, the cheerful chaos of a family breakfast filling the sunny kitchen. Jungmin, with syrup smeared on his cheek, suddenly grew quiet, his big, dark eyes, another inheritance from his father, fixed on YN's stomach.
Mommy?
He asked, his voice unexpectedly serious.
Yes, sweetie.
Replied, dabbing his cheek with a napkin.
My friend Hanul at kindergarten got a new baby sister.
He announced.
Very small and she cries a lot, but his mommy said she's very small and she cries a lot, but his mommy said she's a present.
He paused, taking a deep breath for his next crucial question.
Can I have a present like that? Can you and Daddy please get me a baby?
The clatter of Jungkook's against his plate was the only sound in the sudden silence. YN's breath hitched in her throat. She looked at Jungkook, whose expression was a complicated mask of surprise and something deeper, something that looked almost like fear. Found her voice first, keeping it light.
Oh, a baby? That's a very big present, honey.
But I'd be a good big brother.
Jungmin insisted, his lower lip trembling slightly.
I'd share my robot toys, and I wouldn't even mind if it cries. Please.
Jungkook cleared his throat, placing a reassuring hand on his son's shoulder.
Hey, buddy, we hear you. That's something Mommy and I will have to talk about, okay?
Jungmin seemed to accept this, his attention quickly diverted by the promise of more syrup. But the topic lingered in the air, a silent, pulsing question mark between YN and Jungkook long after the breakfast dishes were cleared. That evening, after they'd tucked a sleepy Jungmin into bed, the conversation they'd both been avoiding finally surfaced. Was curled up on the sofa, a book open but unread in her lap. Jungkook sat beside her, tracing patterns on her hand.
So,
He began, his voice a low rumble.
a baby.
YN closed her book.
He really took us by surprise, didn't he?
He's 5. He sees his friend with a sibling and wants one too. It's normal.
He said the words, but his tone was tight, defensive. She turned to face him fully, taking both his hands in hers.
Jungkook, talk to me. I saw your face this morning. This is more than just a kid's random request for you, isn't it?
He sighed, running a hand through his hair. The gesture was so full of weariness it made her ache for him.
It's just the last time after Jungmin was born.
He trailed off, the unspoken words hanging heavy between them. Mira, his ex-wife Jungmin's biological mother. She had left when their son was barely a year old, claiming the pressures of motherhood, that she wasn't built for it. The devastation had nearly broken Jungkook.
This is different.
YN said softly but firmly.
I'm not her.
I know.
He said, his eyes pleading with her to understand.
God, Wan, I know that. You're the best thing that has ever happened to me and to Jungmin. You stepped in and became the mother he needed, the partner I needed. It's just having a baby, it changes everything. The sleepless nights, the stress, the way your world just shrinks to a 4-foot radius around a crib. That's when things with Mira started to fall apart. I'm scared.
Scared of what?
She pressed gently.
That I'll leave. That it will be too much for me.
No, never.
He answered with conviction.
I'm scared of failing again. I'm scared of bringing another child into the world and not being able to give them the perfect unbroken home they deserve.
Tears pricked Wine's eyes. She leaned forward and rested her forehead against his.
We are already a perfect home, Jungkook. It's not broken. You and I, we built something new and strong from the pieces. And, for what it's worth...
She hesitated, then decided to be brave.
I've thought about it. Having a baby with you. Our baby, I would love that. When we're ready.
His body sagged with relief, and he pulled her in a tight embrace.
I love you so much.
He whispered into her hair.
Can we just think about it? Let the idea settle?
Of course.
She murmured, content to rest in his arms.
We have all the time in the world.
A week later, their world tilted on its axis. They were at the park, pushing Jungmin on the swings when a woman approached them. She was impeccably dressed, her hair coiffed, a practiced, polite smile on her lips that didn't quite reach her eyes.
Jungkook?
She said, her voice smooth as silk. Jungkook froze, the color drained from his face. YN knew, with a sickening lurch in her stomach, who this was before he even spoke her name.
Mira.
His voice was flat, devoid of emotion. Mira's eyes flickered to YN, a quick, dismissive glance, before landing on Jungmin, who had stopped swinging and was now staring at the stranger.
My baby.
Mira breathed, her eyes welling with crocodile tears.
Look how big he's gotten.
She took a step forward.
Jungmin, sweetie, do you remember me? I'm your mommy.
Jungmin hid behind Jungkook's legs, his small face filled with confusion. He peeked out at YN, his silent question clear. Who is she?
What do you want, Mira?
Jungkook's voice was cold steel.
I want to be in his life.
She said, her tone shifting to one of righteous indignation.
I made a mistake. I was young, I was suffering from postpartum depression, I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm better now. I've had therapy. I want my son back.
Wen's hand flew to her mouth, her son back.
He has a mother.
Jungkook bit out, stepping protectively in front of both YN and Jungmin.
YN is his mother.
Mira laughed, a sharp, unpleasant sound.
Oh, please. The replacement? She can never be what I am to him. Look, you can't deny me access to my own child.
The confrontation escalated over the next few days. There were lawyers' letters, tearful phone calls from Mira to Jungkook's parents, and a constant heavy cloud of dread that settled over their once happy home. Jungkook was a wreck, and the legal reality that Mira still had parental rights, however long she'd abandoned them. The breaking point came one evening when Mira showed up at their front door, demanding to see Jungmin.
You can't keep him from me!
She shrieked when Jungkook blocked the doorway.
It's past his bedtime, Mira. This is not the time.
Jungkook said, his voice strained.
I don't care. He is my son. I gave birth to him.
From the top of the stairs, a small voice trembled.
Daddy?
They all looked up. Jungmin stood there in his dinosaur pajamas, clutching his stuffed bunny, his eyes wide with fear. Mira's face softened deceitfully.
Jungmin, baby, come to mommy.
But Jungmin didn't move. He looked from the strange, crying woman to his father, and then his eyes found YN, who had come to stand behind Jungkook. He ran down the stairs, not to Mira, but straight into YN's arms, burying his face in her side.
Mommy,
He sobbed.
I don't like her. Make her go away.
The words, spoken so clearly, so definitively, struck Mira like a physical blow. The fight seemed to seep out of her, replaced by a raw. YN knelt, wrapping her arms tightly around the trembling little boy.
It's okay, sweetie. I'm here. Daddy's here. We're not gonna let anyone upset you.
She looked up, her gaze meeting Jungkook's over their son's head. In that moment, they were a united front, an unbreakable wall. Jungkook turned back to Mira, his expression resolute.
You heard him?
He said, his voice low and final.
You left. You gave up the right to be his mother the day you walked out that door. YN is his mommy. She's the one who stays. She's the one who his scraped knees, reads his bedtime stories, and loves him unconditionally. You are a stranger to him. Now please leave my family alone.
He closed the door on her shocked face, the click of the lock echoing in the quiet hallway. He turned and sank to his knees, joining YN and Jungmin in a tight three-person hug. They stayed like that for a long time, a fortress of their own making, until Jungmin's sobs subsided into sleepy hiccups. After they put him back to bed, promising him extra stories and cuddles, Jungkook pulled YN into the living room. His hands cupped her face, his thumbs gently stroking her cheeks. His eyes shined with unshed tears.
Tonight,
He said, his voice thick with emotion.
when he ran to you, when you stood there, so fierce and protective, all my fears just vanished.
Jungkook?
No, listen.
He insisted.
I was so afraid of history repeating itself, of things falling apart. But I was wrong. You aren't Mira. We aren't them. What we have is real, and it's strong enough to weather any storm. Seeing you with him tonight, I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
He took a deep breath, a slow, genuine smile spreading across his face for the first time in days.
I want it all with you, YN, everything, the chaos, the joy, the sleepless nights. I want to see you hold our baby in your arms.
Juan's heart felt like it would burst.
Are you sure?
She whispered.
Really sure?
More than sure.
he replied.
Let's give Jungmin his present. Let's give him a baby sibling.
She laughed through her tears, a sound of pure, unadulterated joy. She pulled him closer, answering all the questions, sealing all the promises. The storm had passed, and in its wake it had washed away the last of the fear, leaving only the clear, bright truth of their love. Their family wasn't just surviving, it was ready to grow.